So, with everybody up in arms about gun control, I figured I'd tell a story about guns. So, I live in Georgia, and in Georgia, everybody hunts, except me. Now, see, I've been hunting before, but I just don't enjoy it. I know if you're a guy from South Georgia and you just watched this video and heard me make that confession, I just lost my man card with you. I don't care. So when I was around 9 or 10, my father decided to carry me bird hunting. Now while bird hunting seems like a very general term, it is actually very specific. People around here hunt dove. Even though it's a symbol of peace everywhere else in the world, we here in South Georgia eat those wonderful birds. And they're actually pretty good. Not only did he bring me hunting that day, but he also brought our Labrador Retriever, Jed. Yes, Jed, as in Jed Clampett from Beverly Hillbillies. The problem with this was that Jed had never gone hunting. In fact, Jed had never even been around a gun firing. So we didn't know how he was going to act. And so my job was to hold on to the dog while my father shot the birds so that we could try to train the dog to retrieve birds. You can tell where this is going already, I bet. So we get to the field to hunt the birds, and it's a cotton field, and all the cotton stalks have been mowed down. And so there's these little prickly cotton stalks that are sticking out of the ground all over the field. So we walk across this field, and we nestle into our little area where we're going to wait for birds to fly across the field to shoot at. And my father hands me a rope tied to the collar of the dog. He looks at me and he says, "Son, I'm not really sure how the dog's going to react whenever I shoot, so I'm going to need you to hold on very tightly to the dog." So I held the rope, just like my father told me to do. Well, some birds flew across the field. My father raised his gun to shoot. He shoots, and words cannot describe what that dog did. When he heard the gun fire, there was something more than fear that came over that dog. The dog bolted as hard and as fast as he could, and I couldn't hold on to the rope, so I let go. The dog ran as hard and fast as he could across the field to our vehicle, which was on the other side of the field. He gets underneath the vehicle, and my father was furious. "Son, I gave you one job. Hold on to the dog." So my angry father walks across the field, gets the dog out from under the car, walks back across the field, and hands me the rope again. This time he says, "Wrap the rope around your wrist and your hand and hold on to the dog and do not let go." So we're waiting patiently for birds. Birds fly across the field, and my father raises the gun. He shoots, and the dog bolts. This time, though, the dog obtains super dog strength, and he pulls me down when he bolts this time. But I saw the look on my father's face the previous time. My father said, "Do not let go of this dog." So I didn't. That dog dragged me across that cotton field. Cut off cotton stalks were scratching against my belly. It was not good. It didn't feel good. It hurt. After being dragged 3/4 of the way across this field, I had enough. I let go. What else was I supposed to do, huh? I let go. The dog goes back under the car, and my father is furious. He's walking back across the field with a gun in his hand, mind you. He looks at me laying on the ground, and he shakes his head, and he says, "If you want something done right, you do it yourself." So he gets the dog out from under the car. We walk back across the field to our little hunting area that we're hunting in. And he looks at me and he says, "No more for you. I should have left you at home." I would have rather been at home, to be completely honest. So my father, in all of his fury and anger, decides I will shoot the birds myself. I will take care of the dog myself. I'm not a father yet, and so I don't know the full processes that go through a father's brain when he's trying to teach his child a lesson or trying to get him to learn something manly. But my father made a split-second decision. After watching this dog bolt across the field once without me, the second time with me, my father thought it was a good idea to tie the rope that held the dog around his leg. So, birds come out, the gun gets raised, but this time he doesn't have to fire the gun. The dog has learned the trick. As soon as the dog saw the gun go in the air, he bolts! The dog takes off, and my father who I have looked up to my entire life, who is a giant in my eyes, gets his legs pulled right out from under him and is dragged across the field by this scaredy cat, gun-shy dog. The dog did not make it all the way across the field before he got very tired of dragging my father across the field. But I walk across the field and I look at my father, who's laying on his back with a dog tied to his leg. And my father says, "We're going home." You can't make this stuff up. It's a true story. Little update for anyone that's interested. I am on song 1030. There's proof. I hope that you are doing well with your New Year's resolutions as well this year. I'll see you next time.